So, what does cultivating curiosity have to do with being mindful or mindful living? How does that help us be mindful in our approach, in our mental health and well being? Good question. Hey, human, Coach Nate here with another mindful focus to share with you. I want to talk about cultivating curiosity and mindful living. Those two go together. I don't need to tell you, but I will, for it's sometimes good to state the obvious. Like plants and trees, agriculture, most living organisms, it is natural for us to grow organically. Some start very small and then they grow and become massive. But growth is um, existing with all of those. The intentional attention that we give to that focus of growth, um, our efforts, our attentiveness produce greater growth. If you crops, if you fertilize them, use the right fertilizers, the right watering, if you are intentional about growing a certain type of flower, there's certain steps that you take in order for it to flourish. That concept holds true for us. I read something that we're we're humans, as humans, we're just house plants with emotions and feelings. We are naturally born with curiosity. That is innate. It's something we it comes with the package. That is curiosity being a desire to learn. That means there's an intrinsic drive, desire. It is perfectly healthy to explore, to want to know, to look into. Uh, and you look at any toddler, any child, they're constantly curious. They're on the look. They're trying to that that's no one taught them that. They came that way. We all came that way. And in curiosity can feed us and encourage what further growth, what we just talked about. It it is a resource, a tool. Then along comes adulthood, and we reach our plateau. If you ever have been on a specific diet to try to reduce weight, you know what that feels like when you hit that weight loss plateau. But that's when we're trying. The difference here when we reach that plateau in adulthood is, well, I've learned a lot in some cases, and I've become an expert, and I've learned all that I need to. Yeah, careful there. Others, I'm just tired. I've got so many other things to focus on, adulting things to do. Ain't nobody got time for that, or the energy. It's just not as much of a priority, or the curiosity isn't there, or perhaps it got beaten out of us. There was some trauma that we endured from being curiosity, from asking the right question to the wrong person. Right question, wrong person, not your fault. Regardless of what caused us to plateau in our curiosity, to stop doing that, or to lessen it, that leads to stagnation and growth. We, they say life is in perpetual motion. So if we're standing still, even, we're going backwards when we're not keeping up with the trends, not keeping up with what everybody else is doing, or what, others feel you are supposed to be doing. No, 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 no. Just maintaining your strength, abilities to grow, to flourish, to invest in yourself. During Why is that important? Because during times where things become challenging and stressful, that curiosity, that desire to explore, to not simply accept, can be a resource to leverage, to use, to be able to manage through that challenge, that adversity. It can be a powerful tool, resource, even a weapon to say, I'm not simply going to accept that. It's not fun, doesn't feel good. Curious about that. Let's peel the onion back. Let's break it down. Let's understand. And all of that is to say that curiosity is a huge part of mindful living. Being mindful is having an awareness first, starting with self-awareness and situational awareness and then relationship awareness. It's understanding where we are now in the present, living in the present moment, and being aware of that and what influences, enhances, detracts, disrupts. That's that desire to understand and know, curiosity, helps us to live mindfully. It's basically exploring on this journey that we are all on in called life. So counter to asking questions and that being a negative, having curiosity and asking is actually, if we don't do it, it could be harmful to our mental health. All right, so how do we let go, live now, win? Good, bad, or otherwise, you best serve to ask questions. Starting with yourself. Why am I feeling this way? Why did that cause me to have that feeling, emotion? What is it about said activity, event, person, behavior, word, scent, whatever it is? If you're feeling zen and peaceful, why? If you're feeling anxious, why? If you're feeling depressed, upset, asking, being curious to understand why is it that I feel this way helps you then to identify and name what is causing you to feel that way so that you can then address it. If it's good, more. If it's not so good, less. Having curiosity and asking why puts us in a place to not simply accept things that bulldoze over us that don't have to be that way and give us the strength to challenge, if it's thoughts or behaviors, to get to a better place, to have a better quality of life, to have better, more peace and well-being. And once we ask those questions, we listen. We listen for the answer. We listen for what's being said and what's not being said. Again, first starting with ourselves. Sometimes it's in a relationship. Why is it that you feel this way? You may learn something about yourself. You may learn that, yeah, that way you stated it may not have had any impact on you. That's just, I'm just speaking my truth, or eh, I'm just saying these words. But it could be highly offensive and negatively received by the other individual. So if I care about you enough, I'm going to try to find how best to communicate and convey in such a way as to not cause upset, as long as it doesn't cause me to be somebody I'm not. And then that gets into a whole nother conversation. Well, what if that somebody's rude and spiteful and lacking apathy and empathy? And yeah, we're another video. But what I'm talking about is we want to try to find the best way to communicate with each other, and hearing the answers to the questions when we're asking them, the curiosity, hearing what is shared can help us in our relationships, first with ourselves, then with other individuals, perhaps at work, friendships, can help us understand how we feel and why we feel, how others feel, and why they feel, as long as they're being authentic. Another how, or I'll say live now, is curiosity is contagious. Surround yourself with those who are curious, who haven't let go of that, who are willing to respectfully, with diplomacy and tact and decorum, challenge the status quo, not just run with the trend and be a follower. They say if you're a follower, the view in front of you is somebody else's. Leaders tend to ask, probe, simply don't accept. Critical thinking. That is also another video. That helps you to grow. Being around others who have a curiosity mindset helps you to grow. Being around others with a mindset geared towards growth and development and understanding and self awareness helps you to be able to expand and grow. I don't need to say, but I will, hanging around the opposite. So they say it's hard to soar like an eagle when you hang around turkeys. Understanding that growth comes from seeking to understand others' perspectives of their thoughts. That is not a judgment to say it's right, wrong, or otherwise, but understand their thinking. They talk about those that really are able to grow the most are willing to put forth for debate anything. Nothing is off limits. That doesn't mean they're going to change their values, their character, their principles, but open to having a discussion about it. You may learn something. There may be one little nugget of information might have been missing, didn't even know you were, that comes up. And after that discussion, you don't have to hate each other. That's it, it's called playing devil's advocate without being possessed. It's a discussion. It's a dialogue. That's how we learn. It's through that curiosity, always seeking to learn. Can I view things differently? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something that would be additive to help me in my life be better off because I've learned something from, like you say, you can learn from an idiot. The worst a person can be is a great example of what not to be. Reverse role model. Gather, ask, learn. And then, very importantly, exercise self compassion. Be gentle with yourself. The world does a great job at beating us up. You don't have to help them. As you're asking, you may learn things. I had that wrong. But that's okay. I'm human. I'm not going to sit there. Don't ever call yourself you're an idiot or put yourself down or any of those types of things. This is what learning is all about. The asking, the getting the answers, the finding out, and avoiding judging, starting with yourself and then others. That there's just no value that comes from that. And who are we to judge anybody external of ourselves? And what benefit do we get from judging ourselves, valuing ourselves, and then striving to be a better version, comparing ourselves to ourselves? Yes. Judging others, dead end, distraction, waste of time. In all of that, in this mindful living mindset, learning to nurture. Nurture is to care. Nurturing is also encouraging growth. What we're talking about, curiosity, a desire, nurture, encourage, reinforce. Look at what you have gained from being curious, the information, your growth, your development, and encourage you, continue to encourage yourself to grow and develop until you no longer exist. We have the opportunity to grow and develop and learn as long as we have breath in our body. We could be blind and still learn. We could be deaf and still learn. We could not have the ability to talk and still learn and still ask questions. There's ways in which to do that. It's not something that's ever done for you. It's something you have desire, courage, curiosity, desire. You have to have the desire. It can be forced on you, but will you retain it? It's something you do for yourself. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, who's going to do it for you? And why should they? if 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 you're going to invest, invest in yourself, not for them, not for others, but have a sense of curiosity, a desire to invest in yourself, the most valuable, priceless entity that you know here on earth, your most prized investment. And that then leads to helping you to establish, enhance, build your relationship with yourself, and then it flows into the others. Starting place. Be curious. Be mindful. Live in the present. Ask questions. Seek, learn, and know. Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to try them or toss them. Both of those can be correct answers, but which one is something only you can determine for yourself. If you like this content, please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post additional content like this. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like and share this with others who you feel might benefit from it, if you would be so kind. But most of all, remember to let go, live now, and win.